right? So let's go one by one. Okay, so let me comment this. Let me comment everything. So let us understand line by line. Okay. See, confusion will happen. Okay, today you will get the clarity because this character data type is a very special data type. Okay, so I just want to give the clarity on this, right? See, there are you have to understand this in two levels. Okay, so whenever you are trying to access the variable inside this system dot out dot println, okay, the behavior is going to be little bit weird. Okay, but whenever you perform the arithmetic operation, okay, whenever you perform the arithmetic operation in the declaration itself, the behavior is going to be different. Okay. Let us take this one particular line. Okay, character a char a equal to, usually it is pronounced as char. Okay, some just few people will pronounce it like car. It is pronounced as char data type. Okay, when I say character a plus 5, okay, so their arithmetic operation is happening there. It means directly you're performing an arithmetic operation. You have introduced the plus symbol. You have introduced the plus symbol. Internally the mechanism is like, whenever there is an arithmetic plus or any other arithmetic operator, definitely the one of the if one of the characters, if one of the character one of the operand is a number, so here you have 5. Okay, 5 cannot be added with the single character a, right? It is not possible. You cannot say a5, you cannot say, right? Java, what internally it will do, it will do the conversion explicitly. Okay? It will get the equivalent number that corresponding to the character a, which is what, 65 plus 5, okay, 70, right? This a is going to store the equivalent character 70. Okay, I mean this variable a, after the arithmetic operation, this will be replaced by the value 70. You don't see these things, but these things are happening in the memory, right? After that, what you are doing, you are actually trying to you want to display this in the console. To display this in the console, you are using the statement system.out.println, right? Now when you try to display it in the console, and if there is no other arithmetic operation, if there is no other arithmetic, you want to print a. Okay, this a has been assigned with a value 70, right? This a is of char data type. So no other arithmetic operations you are performing inside the system.out.println. It is always going to give you the character itself. The output is going to be what? The output is always going to be character only. So what is the character that is associated with 70? F. Are you able to follow? Yes, no? Everyone, this is fine, no? The first thing. Can I get yes from everyone? Type in the chat box if you are not comfortable voice. Hello? Type yes. Type yes in the chat box. Am I audible? Hello, Balaji, can you confirm? Someone type yes in the chat box. Pranati, Pavitra, Shravani. Okay, I'm not getting it. That's why I'm asking. Okay. Okay. If let it be. So this is what happening behind the scenes. Okay. The second thing is, see, let us go with the second example. So the second example, when you see, okay. Now see, you in the line number 10, you wanted to do what? So this is what you wanted to do. Okay, already this char a has got the value 70. 70 is assigned to char. The moment you want, if you are performing further arithmetic operation, moment you are performing further arithmetic operation inside the system dot out dot println, right? So you are saying what? You are saying 70 plus, you are saying 70, right? You are saying what? 70 plus 70. Whenever there is an arithmetic operation introduced inside the system dot out dot println, right? The output is always going to be what? Output is always going to be an integer, because over here, if you see this, okay, there is a lot of difference. If you see this, the resultant value is explicitly assigned, the resultant value 70 is explicitly assigned to a character in this case. But if you want to do the arithmetic operation inside the system dot out dot println, right, for two characters, it gets converted to a number. Output will always be a number. That is why that is the reason why, okay, when you execute this, the first one is completely fine. It is straightforward. Okay, first one is F. Why second one is 140? Why? Because 140, because you have introduced plus operator. Okay, whenever you introduce plus operator, it will ensure that the resultant value is always going to be an integer. Okay, second one is clear. Now look at the third one. Third one is like, this is little bit tricky. From here the actual confusion starts. Now A plus A, right? Always remember one thing, the execution will start from left to right. Okay, firstly Java will find for, is there any arithmetic operation, is there any mathematical operation? There is a plus symbol here. If there is a plus symbol, it will ensure that the two operands are always going to be an integer. So what is the value that is stored inside here? 70 is the value that is stored inside here, right? So 70 plus 70 will become what? 140. Okay, what is the next thing? Plus, now I am introducing this is a string. Okay, I am introducing the I am putting the character A inside double quotes, not single quotes. This is representing a string. Now again evaluation will happen from left to right, right? So it will identify, okay, there is a plus operator again. So I have told you already, whenever you are trying to add a string with a number, the output is always what? The output will be treated as a string only. It is going to do the concatenation operation. 140 plus A become 140A. Okay, what is the remaining? Plus A. Right? So this is how the evaluation would happen behind the scenes from left to right. Okay, again 140 plus A, it will encounter the plus operator between two operands. String plus string is going to be a string itself. So that's why this is why 140 AA. So this is the behavior that we need to understand inside the system.out.println. This is how it behaves. This is how the Java designs. Why Java is designed like that? In future, there is a topic called toString method. Okay, over there you will get the perfect answer. Right? Let me, if I execute this, you will see 140. Are we clear till now? Please unmute and speak, everyone. I want to hear your voice, guys. Please unmute and speak. Say yes. Everyone say yes.
Yeah.
Others? Pranati?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Say
yes,
yes.
sir.
Yeah. Now next thing. Okay. Next thing. What is the next thing? See. System.out.println. Okay. Now focus here. Pay attention to this line. If I ever ask you what kind of operation is happening here on what operands, okay, you would say, yeah, this is a string. Okay, and this is also a string because they are enclosed within what? Double quotes. And you would say, sir, this is a character because they are enclosed in single quotes. This is also a character, they are enclosed inside single quotes. Java, what the Java rulebook says, okay, whenever you do string plus arithmetic operation for string plus the character, string plus, yeah, The output is always string. Sir, what is string? String is what? The sequence of characters. I mean, it can be a single character, or you can think it like this. Any character within double quotes is called as string. Any character within single quote is called as character. Char. Output is always string. Again, you do the execution from left to right. You do the evaluation from left to right. It will first encounter the first operator plus operator. Both are string. Okay, it gets concatenated to a single string. Okay, a plus. Okay, so remaining is what? The char a and another char a. So again, the operation will happen from left to right. Okay, 1 minute. A plus character. Okay, again, it will happen. Again, it will be manipulated from what? Left to right. Evaluated from left to right. Right. So it will encounter what? This one. This right left hand side part is a string and the right hand side part is a character. Output has to be string. It gets concatenated. Right. So what happens? A plus A becomes A plus again one single character A is left. After the evaluation, you see what? A. Isn't it? Are you getting? Yes, no? Others?
Yes,
Last.
sir.
Very good, very good. Last one, okay? Last one. So some people, few people have done some mistakes. So that's the reason why I'm taking it. So now this A has to be replaced by what? This A has to be replaced by 70 because that is what it is. Because that is how it is evaluated. 70. Okay. So we know already, right? Okay, we know already what is the, when I say something like 70 plus A, when I say integer plus a string, what would be the output? 70, you know? You see the result, I will show you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. See, string. I thought it is a character. It's a string. Okay. See, let me repeat this once again. This is a string. I thought this is a character. This is a string. So whenever you encounter the value 70 plus the combination of the ASCII plus string, the combination of the value that is stored inside the char plus string. Okay. So whenever you encounter string with the character, so the 70 will be replaced by the actual character. 70 will be replaced by the actual character. Now after replacing by the actual character, this gets concatenated to FA plus, and again there is another character, so it becomes what? FAA. Okay, the thumb rule book says integer plus string. If it is a very straight integer plus string, the output is string.
String.
Correct. If there is any integer plus character, string plus character, the output is character, or the vice versa, right? And if you have an integer, now focus here. This is the direct integer I'm talking about. This is the very direct integer I'm talking about. But if you have any integer that is represented by a character, this is our case. So this A is actually representing a character. Don't you think so? This A is actually representing a character, right? So when you have an integer that is actually representing a character plus string, okay? So this will be replaced. This will be replaced by a plus string becomes what? It is like character and string. It's like single character and string. So output is going to be string one. I will give you one more example to avoid the confusion. Okay, this is the confusion, right? You are getting FAA. Now Now, what do you think the output is going to be in this example? Anyone? Okay. Now, why? Now, a direct and why? Because this 100 is directly representing an integer, but this a, even though it is evaluated to be an integer, but this a is of what character type? Don't you think so? This is the constant value, but this a is something of character data type. Are you getting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Your confusion avoided now? Yes, no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I will give you the clear chart. Only one, if you have the direct, variable here of character type, you will get the actual what? You get the actual character in the output. Okay. Now the problem starts. What is the problem start? A plus A. A plus A means, okay, you have introduced the plus operator here. You have introduced the plus operator. Whenever you want to do the arithmetic addition on two characters, this will be converted to a number and you get the output as what? 140. Okay, what is the third one? Third one is again, okay, evaluation happens from left to right. Okay, this gets 140 and it is going to be a number, okay, plus, okay, followed by the concatenation AA, 140 AA, right? And next one is what? Here a string is going to be a string, okay, AA. Again, this resultant plus this character is going to be A, again A. Concatenation will happen. Okay, here over here you see A, only one A, and there is an arithmetic operator in between. But this A is of what type? This A is of the character type. That's the reason why it will first consider the value, actual value of the character, which is here. Then the concatenation will happen, FAA. But over here, this 100 is actual constant. It's not a character, it's actual directly you are using 100. Integer plus string will become what? String, 100 A. And string plus char will become again string. That's why 100 A. Okay, with the plus and minus, if you look into this, you will understand this. And again, don't worry, you don't have to really worry about this. Okay, this will be covered over and over again in the future classes. Till we have time to build the project. Again, we will revisit topic once again. Now you know. Now you got to know, right? Who has given the right answers or who have given the wrong answers? Yes, no. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Everyone say yes, sir. I want to hear your voice. Everyone has to say yes. Only Shravani is responding. Balaji is responding.
Yes, sir.
Good. Keep
Yes,
the
sir.
session interactive. Okay. Okay. Now we will start into a beautiful topic, guys. So Java is always beautiful. Okay. That's why I'm saying. So the topic is what? From here, you should think like you are designing a project. Okay. So these are the basic things, and you have to get full understanding about these things so that it will be really helpful to understand the project. Okay. So what is the topic here? I'm talking about scope. Look at this local scope and the class level scope. I'm talking about the scope. Okay, when I say scope, okay, I'm talking about the scope of a variable. So what do you mean by scope of a variable? Very simple. If I have to introduce a variable, let me say that I'm taking the class. I already said, whatever the logic that you want to write, you have to write inside a class, right? And what else I have said? Public static void main. This is the main method. So main method is what? The execution starts from the main method. It is an entry point. Okay, by looking at this, we can conclude two things. Method, main method is a method, it is part of class. Okay, second thing is what? Whatever the logic that you have to write, that has to be written within the class boundary. This is the class boundary, right? And okay, there is a rule book in Java. What is a rule book? Rule book says where one has to place the variables. Okay, where do the variable live? This is the rule book. This is the question. Where do the variable live in Java? So what do you mean by where do the variable live? So we know one thing. We know how to introduce the data inside the Java. How to introduce the data? For example, if you are going to a tea shop, the price of the tea is fixed for some period of time. So let us say it is 12. This, if you add more context, okay, so this is just the data. If you have more context, you will get the information. In Java, how do you add the context? Okay, you would say tea price. Okay, previously it was raw. When you say 12, you don't understand anything, right? When you just say 12, hey 12. When you say 12, do you understand anything without context? You won't understand anything. But when you, what if you want to add context to the, you will introduce a variable. So this is what giving the actual information, tea price. But in Java will also expect what? Expect the data type. Okay? You cannot have the value. You cannot only have the variable. You should have the data type. What is the data type? I can say byte data type. Any data type, any integer data type you can use. But 12 is a small number. It is within the limit of bytes. So I can use this for the low memory consumption. This is the variables I'm talking about. Java says where you can use these variables, where this variable can live in Java. Okay, this variable can live in Java either inside the method. You can place this variable inside the method over here. If you place the variable inside the method block, you simply call it as what? You simply call it as the local variable. What did I say? When you place a variable inside a method, you simply call it as what? The local variable. It is completely localized. Okay? So when I ask you, hey, where did I place this variable? What you would say, sir, this variable is part of a block. And the block that I'm talking about is what? The method block. So this variable is part of a method. In this case, main method. So how do you call this variable? Since you have placed this variable inside the block, inside the method block, you call it as what? The local variable. Are you getting till now what is local variable? What is the definition? Hello? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Second question, sir, local variable. This is also called as what? The local scope. Local scope. It is localized. Okay. Sir, I do not want to use my variable inside a method. I just want to keep my variable on the class level, in the class level. Okay. If you place any variable that is outside the method but inside a class. Got my question now? If any variable is placed outside the method and inside the class, that is called as what? The class level variable. Are we good till now, everyone? Now you understood what is class level variable, what is local variable, right? Local variable is inside the main method. Class level variable is what? Replace a variable outside the method but inside the class. Sir, why we are discussing this? Why we are discussing this? See, before understanding this, I just want you to understand one more thing. I want to understand about the assignment operator. So we have been looking into the assignment operator without knowing that it is an assignment operator for a long time. So what is an assignment operator? Assignment operator is, you call this as an assignment. Equal to symbol is called as what? Assignment operator. So what is the purpose of this operator? Okay. This assignment operator usually has two parts. One is the part on the right hand side. Well, you call it as what? The value, the actual information. Okay, actual data. Left hand side, the variable name. In our case, it is T price. Right? You have the data and you have the variable name. Right? How this data is getting assigned to a particular variable name? You are using which operator? The assignment operator. This says you have the value. This value is assigned to which name? Which name? Identity. There is an identity here. T price. But Java will expect one more thing. What is that one more thing? It will expect the data type. Right? Now you are able to see the assignment. What is the use of assignment order? Assignment operator has usually two parts. One is on the left hand side part, second one is on the right hand side. So what is the purpose of left hand side? What is the purpose of right hand side? This right hand side, you can perform mathematical operations Left hand side is nothing but giving an identity. Okay, now you got right what is the assignment operator. Let me introduce one more thing. If you ever have to declare a variable, declare, sir, what do you mean by variable declaration? Okay, so byte t price. When you have just the variable name with the data type, only with the data type, okay, you really don't assign the value, you just have the tag, okay, t price tag of byte data type, and you just end with semicolon. This is called as what? This is called as declaration, variable declaration. Okay, and second thing, initialization is there. What is initialization? Okay, what you would do, you would take the variable name t price and you assign the value 12. This is called initialization. Okay, this is called initialization. Initializing the, when initialize the value, you just initialize the value, that is initialization. Third part is what? Accessing. What is an accessing? If you ever want to use that variable, if you ever want to display that variable inside the system, inside the, I mean, on the console. This is called initialization. Let me repeat. This variable can be broke down into three parts, guys. Instead of declaring the variable directly like this, t price equal to 12. You can also do in another way. I will tell you why it is required. Instead of doing it in one go, you can separate this into two parts. First part is what? Declaration, t price. Second one is after declaration, you will on the second or the next line or somewhere, you will initialize it. Both are serving the same purpose. So this is same as this. Both are serving the place. Instead of keeping everything in the one line, you just separate it in two lines, but the both serves the same purpose. Are you actually getting what I'm trying to say? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So this is what? This is declaration. Okay. And what is the second one? This part is what? Initialization. Very simple, not initialization. What is the third part that I said? Even here, you can just use system.out.println. You can access the variable directly, t price, which is going to give you the actual output to accessing. Here also you can do the same thing, accessing. But when I ask you, you have only two lines here. Okay, this line is taking care of both declaration and the initialization. Okay, this line is taking care of what? This line is taking care of accessing the variable. But here you separate the declaration, you separate the initialization, and you are accessing it here. Both serves the same purpose, but there are some reasons. Okay, there are a lot of reasons. Sometimes you are recommended to choose this kind of approach, and sometimes you recommended to choose this kind of approach. Okay, if I want to convert this into the program, very simple. Let me remove this. Okay, byte, what is it? T price now. T price equal to 12. The price of the T is 12. System.out.println. T price. Let me print it over here. You get 12. Answer is same. It is going to serve the same purpose. Or you can do like this. Price equal to this. But observe one thing. Observe one thing. Okay. Observe one critical thing here. See, the variable name is t price, right? So here also the variable name is t price. So do you think this is a duplication? Am I duplicating the variable name here? Technically, there is a duplicate variable name. So t price. But Java won't consider this as a duplicate variable. How Java is going to consider a variable name? See, for example, in your college, right? In your college, so you cannot have the same roll number, register numbers, right? So I cannot assign 101 to Parmi, I cannot assign the same 101 to Balaji. right? Names can match, but not the registration numbers. So when this happens, you call it as a duplicate. You call it as a duplicate. Even Java will what? Java will take a strict action when you declare the duplicate variable name. What I mean is variable and variable. But this will not come a duplicate variable. What is a duplicate variable name? I will tell you. When I say t price equal to 12, okay. Again, when I say t price equal to 16 or 16. Now you see it is what? It is complaining. Now this is considered as a duplicate. See, what is considered as a duplicate in Java? No matter what, you cannot have the same variable names for two data types. So if I take this as an example, okay, take this an example. So it has identified t price is a duplicate, t price is a duplicate variable name. Both are using the same variable name, right? No matter what the values are, it will not think about the values. Values can be duplicated, data can be different, but variables name cannot be duplicated. How this is considered duplicated? You are using, right? You are assigning the data types for two times. So this combination is considered as a duplicate. Okay, this combination is considered as what? Duplicate. Okay, so when you remove this, when you literally remove this in our previous example, so do you think this is a duplicate? This is not a duplicate. Why this is not a duplicate? If I run this, reassignation is happening. You get 16. You get the latest updated value 16. You should, if you are not using the data type, if you still use the same variable and play with assigning different value, you are not using the data type. Use the same variable name to reassign the values. That is not considered as duplicate. So what is happening with this code? Okay, let me explain this. The beginning there will be a confusion, I agree. Okay, see this line. Okay, what happens? A memory gets allocated, and the value is going to be 112, and this name, okay, the variable name is what? T price. This is what the variable name is given. Okay, so by data type. So you have declared the data type here. The data type has been declared over here. But in the next line, since you're not using the data type in the second line, you're not using the data type here. You are not using data type here. So in this case, this T price will not be considered as a duplicate. It is going to reuse the same memory allocation just to reassign the value. You are just reassigning the value inside T price from 12 to 16. After this, what you are doing? You are just printing the latest stored value, which is 16 in the console. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Right? But when it is going to consider it as a duplicate, sir, both names are same. It should be duplicate, no? That is your question. The T price is same as this T price. Both names are same and both are using the same cases. Okay, case wise is there is no difference. Everything is perfect. It should be duplicate, no? That is the question. Yes, it would be duplicate when you declare the data type here as well. Since you're not declaring data type, what you're saying to Java, hey, I'm not duplicating it. I am just using my variable to assign a different value. That's it. Not duplicate. When will it become duplicate? If I use byte once again, now it becomes duplicate. Can I get yes from everyone? Or no from whatever it is? Have you understood the concept of duplication here?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now you see one more interesting thing. T price. Look at the power of assignment operator. Look at the power of assignment. You are assigning a value here. Assigning the value here. Right hand side you are assigning the value. Left hand side you are using the variable name. You can also do like this. You can also, instead of assigning the value, this 12 is nothing but what? This 12 is nothing but what? The T price, right? You can use the T price here plus T price here, right? You can use this combination of T price and T price. It will not work. Why? Because you are using by. Let me change it to n. Okay. You are using T price plus T price. Value inside the T price is 12. 12 plus 12. Right hand side will always perform the arithmetic operation, and you have the power to use the variable names also on the right hand side of the assignment operator. After the manipulation, you can reassign it to the same variable. Okay, let me explain this. This concept is called as what? Reassigning, or utilizing the same variable for the mathematical operation. Example. Now you have to answer me one question before proceeding this. I am asking you, did we duplicate the T price? What is your answer? Did we duplicate the variable name? Hello? Technically, literally, yes, the duplication is there, but Java will not consider this a duplicate. Why? Because on the very first line, you have used the data type. In the second line, since you're not using the data type here, it will think that the developer is trying to utilize the same variable name to perform the mathematical operation. Right? So this is fine. The first line will always, it is going to do what? Behind the scenes, okay, it will create a memory. Okay, it is going to store value 112. It is going to have it. You don't see these things. Okay, this will happen behind the scenes. In the memory level, this will happen. Okay, in the RAM level, right? This line is fine. Okay, and what about the next line? What about the next line? Assignment operator. There, no. It will always evaluate the right hand side. It will not evaluate left hand side. What right hand side says? Developer is utilizing the value 12. T price is holding 12, right? It will be 12 plus, again this T price is holding what? 12 plus 12 becomes what? 24. Okay, this evaluated value is getting reassigned to the same variable name T price. So what happens behind the scenes? 12 plus 12 becomes 24, and 24 is again getting reassigned to the same variable name. This is not mathematics. This is what Java is. This is a power of assignment operator. What you are trying to print here? T price at the end. T price at the end. Right? Or what should the output that you would be seeing here? 24 should be the output. Are you getting? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why this concept is taken there in the first place? What happens, sometimes what happens, so this is the T price. On the T price you want to add tax. Let us say the tax is 2 rupees. Okay, and again on the tax, on the resultant value you want to add the value added charge, VAT, 1 rupee. Okay, so this many manipulations you can do on the resultant value. If I just run this, you get what? Latest 115. So the arithmetic operation will happen on the answer. So if you want to think why the answer is 15, just try to take a pen and paper and write the code like this. Okay, and see, go line by line. Go live. Ask yourself, is this a duplicate? It is not a duplicate because you are not declaring a data type here, which means it is utilizing the same variable name to perform additional operation. Isn't it? So the first line is what? The first line is 12. The value 12 is assigned to the variable name T price. Okay, what is the next line? Next line, always the assignment operator do the evaluation on the right hand side only. Okay, take the price of T. What is the price of T? 12. Okay, 12 plus add 2 to it. is going to give what? 14. Okay, assign this resultant value to the t price itself. Okay, so 12 becomes 14. In Max, it won't work, but in Java, this is how it works. You think like a Java developer. This is how Java. This is the power of assignment operator. Now, what is the next thing? Again, t price plus 1. What is the latest value inside the t price? 14 is the latest value inside the t price, no? 14. It was 14, no? Right? So 14 plus 1 becomes what? 14 plus 1 becomes 15. Okay, and in the memory level, this will be replaced by 15. Yeah. After that, what you are doing? Simply, I just want to print the value inside the t price variable. What is value inside t price value? 15. We're able to see the power of assignment operator. Yes, no? Evaluation. This is how Java evaluated. Hello? Can I get S from everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
No? Easy, no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is the local variable. So we are talking about, I can ask you many questions here. What is the question? First question I can ask. What kind of variable is the t price? The t price is where it is declared inside the method. In the method. So it is a local variable. Second question I can ask. So I have used a t price variable for 3 occasions. Variable name. Is it duplicated? Yes, you have used 3 times, but you did not use data type. Particular data explicitly did not declare. It means the same t price is getting manipulated, so it is not duplicated. Okay, so this part is called as what? Declaration and initialization. I have initialized the value and I have declared the variable name. This part is called as what? Evaluation. You are evaluating for the for the further results. This part is called as what? Evaluation. This part is called as what? Accessing. Okay, so there is a one drawback in the local variables. Let us say integer, or this time always t price. No, let us say coffee price, because people who love coffee, they will fill coffee price. What is the price of coffee? Coffee price is always larger than the tree price. The coffee price is 15. Okay, so I have declared it, I have initialized it. I have followed a pattern called I have declared the variable and I have also initialized the value. Or else I can break it down. Let me declare it in the first line. Let me initialize it in the second line. 15. This can also be done. This can also be done. What is the third thing? I can access it at the last. Coffee price. Okay, but in the local scope, okay, I'm talking about the local scope. I'm talking about the declaring variable in what? In the method level, which is called local variables, right? If I just, okay, this is D, this is I, initialization, this is a accessing. If I just change the order means if I just initialize it after accessing, this will not make any sense, no? You are trying to access the price of the coffee, but the value itself is not, the value is assigned later. You have to follow the pattern called DIA. You cannot do the opposite. You cannot break this order. You cannot break the order. Declaration, initialization, accessing. This order cannot be broken. You just interchange this order, it will not work. Declaration is a mandatory thing. First thing. Okay. Before accessing it, the variable has to be initialized. If you run this, no issues. Okay, but if you just break the rule, right? If you just change the order, right, you'll get an issue. Okay, what it says, unresolved compilation. The local variable coffee price may not be initialized. Java is not seeing, okay, it is executing line by line. Line number 7 is executed. The line at the time of line number 10, it is not seeing the value inside this. So in the local variable, declaration and initialization is mandatory before accessing it. So what is happening behind the scenes? Huh? You know, so what is the problem here? Okay, so you are saying you declare the variable coffee price. Okay, just coffee price is there inside the memory. It's not referring to any memory. It is not referring to any memory because value is not there. It's simply something like this. After this, what you are asking coffee price? What is the coffee price? Coffee price is not pointing to any value. That's why you get error. Why you are getting error? You have declared the variable, you are accessing it, but you did not initialize it. Not initialize it because you have done the initialization, but after accessing, you have broken the order. So it is breaking here. Breaking here. Right. So what you're supposed to do actually, this initialization should be between declaration and accessing. Now what happens? Okay, here coffee price is pointing to a storing a value 15. Then you are doing what? Then you are doing the accessing. Now the coffee price has the value, it is going to give you the output. Right? What is the pattern that I follow? DIA declaration. Okay, now tell me if you have understood this or not. See, now what I am doing, I am I am doing the initialization, then I am declaring it, then I am asking. Is it correct or incorrect? Hello?
Yeah.
Correct or incorrect? This is
Incorrect.
incorrect because if you see the pattern from top to bottom, you have initialized it without declaring the data type. That's it. That itself is wrong. Then you are doing the declaration. Then you are accessing it. What is the order? What is the pattern here? IDA. No, it should be DIA. When you do DIA means order wise should be top followed by initialization followed by accessing. Now this will give you the right answer. Don't you think so? Have you understood about what is a local variable? So what is a local variable? Local variable is a very variable that is placed inside the method, not in this class scope, but in the method scope. Okay, how you can declare, how you can use the data in a local variable. You can either do the declaration initialization on the same line, or you can separate it. Okay, what you have to follow? You have to follow DIA pattern. Okay, there is no scope of default value here. Okay, now second thing. You have understood about the local scope, you have understood about the assignment operator, so many things we have understood. Without knowing that, we have understood so many things, right? Now let us give a few more topics, right? So now see, class test. I'm taking a class test. Okay, and also I'm taking what? Public static void main string array. So any variable that is declared inside the method, local variable, but any variable that is declared inside the class but outside the method. So if I want to declare the tea price 12, this variable is called as what? The class level variable. Only one difference. Okay, instead of putting it inside a method, instead of putting the tea price inside a method, so int tea price. So I'm very much obsessed with this tea price here. So don't get bored. So this is local variable. You just put this outside. What does it become? Class level variable. Here you have declared the variable outside the method but inside the class. This is part of the class, but this is not part of the method. This variable is not part of the method. If I want to access this, if I want to access this, if I say system.out.println, and if I say t price, okay, this method will give you a lot of complaints. It will be more angry on you. Why? Because if I run this code, it will say error, and it says cannot make static reference to non-static types. I will tell you what is this. Okay, see, there is a special quality for this method. First of all, there is a special quality. What is the quality? This is not a method. This is one thing. This is the main method. Second thing is, it says, hey, I am a static method. It says what? I am a static method. Which means if I want to access any variable outside my method, outside my static method, change that variable to static method. It should be a static variable. You should use the static keyword. Why static keyword? This is outside the method. If I ever want to access a variable that is outside the method, that should also be a static. If I remove static keyword, this becomes non-static variable. If I put static keyword, it becomes what? Static variable. We'll understand about static keyword. We can do the deep dive in the future classes. For now, think it of like this. If you want to access the class level variable, this is a class level variable. Inside the static method, okay, this should always be the static method, static variable. It will accept only the static variables. It can access only the static variables. If I run this code, you will not see any issues here. You will see 12. But if I remove this, it will not recognize. It is very much blind to the class level variables. This is a class level variable. Okay, it is very much blind. Okay, it will not see that. It can able to see only if you declare this variable as static. So why it is like that? Why the behavior is like this? To understand this, since we are in the entry level, it will take some time for us. For now, think it of like this. You want to access a class level variable from the from the main method. The variable should also be a static. If you're not accessing it, no issues. Okay, if you are just not accessing it, you will not see any issues here. But if you're trying to access it, what it should be static. Okay, so this is how you should think. So you should think like this, guys. You see, this method says I can access variables outside my method. Basically, I can access variables outside my method. I do not have any problem accessing variables outside my method. But I am the static method. The variable should also be static. Then only I will be able to access. Then only I will be able to see. That is how the method behaves. Right? Since it is static, if it ever add to access a variable which is outside of this family, outside of this method, we're talking about the variable, that should also be a static. So this problem will come only when you try to access it. Are able to understand? Simple thing. Are able to understand what I am trying to convey? No?
Yes, sir.
Let me increase the complexity now. Okay. If I remove this, you cannot access it because it's static. Okay, let me remove this also. Now see, let me say I have the same variable name in the class level. I have the same variable name inside the method level. Okay, totally how many variables do I have inside my class? If I ask you, sir, what you would say? Sir, I can see one variable. So this variable is the class level variable. This is what I can say. This is a class scope, which means the variable that is outside a method and inside the class. Yes, sir, I can also see one more variable. This is what? This is the method level variable or local scope variable that is declared inside the method. You can use the same name, no issues. You can duplicate it. You can have the data type, right? Maybe you can have the different values, but you can do the duplication in different scopes. You can do the duplication. You can declare the duplicate variable in different scopes. Duplicate variable cannot be declared inside the same scope. What do you mean? You cannot have another variable like this within the same scope. This is invalid. But within the different scope, you can have. See, this just like this analogy. Okay, if there are, let us say if there are two colleges, right? In college A, this college A, this college B. I'm talking about the college. So there are high chances that, right, sometimes what happens, they may end up with the same registration number, but they are from different colleges. I'm not talking about the university level. I'm talking about the college level. Okay, don't think like the university level examination number. Simple analogy. They can have the same registered number, but they are part of different colleges because both are from different scopes. The scopes are different, but you cannot have the duplicate registration number within the same college. This will be actually considered as a duplicate. This is not duplicate. Hello, analogy. So when you want to convert this analogy to Java programming language, okay, class level variable, method level variable, different scopes. It can be duplicated. If I try to access this variable, system.out.println t price, it will always access the variable if you have declared it in the method. It will give priority to this method, not this one. Making sense? Okay, let me put it in a different way. We have to understand all this, before completing the scopes, so that we can jump into methods. Please rejoin. Okay, if you get locked out of the meeting, please rejoin. The class will continue for 10 more minutes. Okay, only if you get knocked out. Tell me, guys, if I ask you scope, can someone tell me what scope is this? Class level scope or method level scope? You can tell me.
Class level scope.
Yes, correct. Class level. Very simple. You do not have to break your rate. This variable is outside the method but inside the class. So class scope. Okay. Very straightforward. This t price is class scope variable. What about this? This is part of method. This is what? Local scope or method level scope. What I'm saying, duplication can happen between two scopes. T price, you have declared this in the class level, you have declared this in the method. No matter if the names are same, if the data type is same, no matter, but they will not be considered as a duplicate. It is accepted, it is completely fine. Okay, now T price. You're trying to access the price of T, which means you're expecting the value 12 needs to be get displayed in the console, right? The priority will be given to what? Okay, it will check, is there the variable name T price inside my local? Yes, there is a variable material. So this will be accessed. Thank you for rejoining, guys. Thank you for rejoining. What I was saying is, so now you have understood about the duplication, right? So you can duplicate in different levels, but not in the same levels. See, but I have a requirement, bro. What is it? My requirement is, sir, let me say that in the class level, the price of the tea is 20. but in the local, in the method level, the price of the t is 10. Right? If I just print t price, priority will be given to the local variable. Okay, but what if I want to access this class level variable? If I want, so if there is no local variable, definitely when I try to access t price, since this t price variable is not declared locally, it will look for the class level. It will find locally. If it is not identifying this in the local block or the method block, it will check in the class level, but it cannot see. The problem is I am static. Okay, if you ever accessing a variable from the class level, make it as static. Okay, now the answer is clear. 20 will be in the console. Okay, now let me add this. Okay, let's say in the class level it is static, it is a t price, it is 10. Local it is 20. But on this, definitely priority will be given to local. But I want to give priority. I want to print 10. I do not want to print 20. I want to give priority to the class level variable. How I can do? We want to give the priority to the class level variable, and it should be, first thing, it should be static. To access it, it should be static. I have done static. Okay, I said what? Class level. Since I am saying class level, use the class name test dot use the variable name t price. In this way, it will avoid executing the local variable. The priority will be given to the class level variable. Now you see what 10 in the console. Making sense? Hello? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Very simple analogy. See, again, the two classrooms are there. This is classroom 1, this is classroom 2. Okay? Classroom 1, and this is classroom 2. Or let us say that this is classroom 1. Okay? And this classroom is part of what? The bigger umbrella, which is college. College, and this is the classroom. Okay? Pune, not Pune, Pune. I'm talking about the Pune. Okay? Pune wants to identify a person, Balaji. Okay? And he checks. Okay? He knows only one thing. He has access to only to the classroom 1. He will call out, is there any Balaji here? Balaji is here, that is fine. If the Balaji is not here, okay, the peon has to check the whole college, either if the Balaji is there in the college or not. If Balaji is there in the class, okay, he will call out. If not, he has to check the whole college. The same analogy. Okay, what Java does, when you use when you just access the t price variable name, right? It will check inside the method first. Yes, method in there is a t price. Yeah, let me print that. Let me access that. No issues. If you are not declaring this t price, it is not in the method, but it is there in the class level. This will get priority. Okay. If you have both, you have both. You have both, but you want to give priority to the class level variable. What I say? What did I just say? I want to give priority to the class level variable. Class means use the class name dot the respective variable name, which is what t price. Now the priority will be given to the class level variable. Directly you are saying, okay, use the class. Okay, inside the class, find for t price. So t price is there. Access that and execute it. That's why you are getting 10 here. You understood how to access the variable locally and how to access the variable which is part of the class level. Hello? Getting it? Are you confused or what? Starting wise, it will be bit confused, but on the go, these things will become very clear. Trust me. So at the starting of the class, I have already said, okay, what was my thing? So we said we have understood what is local scope. We have understood what is class level scope. We have understood what is assignment operator. and we have understood what is variable duplication. Have we completed the task today? Yes or are you good to write the assignment that I'm going to give tonight? Not assignment, okay? Just solve the problem that I am putting into the shorts. Understood? Or you want me to explain once again?